Welcome to another episode of Book Covers DIY. Today I have something special in store for you by request from one of our viewers. I'm going to teach you how to design a children's book cover for free using Canva. And yes, this will be a print book cover. So let's get started. So here we are on canva.com, the free website where we make all of our book cover designs. Once you register and log in, you should be taken to a homepage that looks like this. Normally, when we're making our ebook covers, we just come over here to this book cover template or we type it in the search bar. But today, since we're going to be designing a book cover for a print book, we are going to need to enter in custom dimensions. So here on Canva, as you can see over to the right, it says create a design, but below that, there's another button that says custom size. We will need to click on that, and then we're going to need to enter in a width and a height. Right now it said it pixels. We need to change that to inches. Now the numbers are going to be different for every book. It all depends on the size of your book and the number of pages. In order to find out that number, we are going to need to go over to Google, and I'm assuming you will be uploading this to Amazon KDP, so we are going to need to type in KDP cover calculator, which is already there. I'm just going to hit enter. All right, and your first result should be your KDP cover calculator on Amazon.com. I'm going to click on there, and it's going to bring us over to the print cover calculator. We are going to need to fill this out for our specific book. Okay, the binding type, we are going to be designing for a paperback. The interior type, our page is going to be just black and white. Are we choosing premium color or standard color? This is a children's picture book. I'm going to pick standard color today. Paperback type, it'll just be plain white paper. Typically, if you choose black and white, I think you get two options. I think you get white or cream. But for color, you're just going to get white. All right, our page turn direction. This is a little bit confusing because in your head you think, well, I turn my pages from the right to the left. Ignore their description. Think of this as reading direction. And for English and most languages, you read from the left to the right. Again, ignore page turn and think of it as reading direction. I read from left to right. Measurement units, we are selecting inches today. And then the interior trim size is actually what size your book is going to be. I was researching on Amazon, and a number of children's books, there are some that are like 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11, but a good number of them were either this size, 8.25 or 8.5 squares. I'm going to choose this 8.5 by 8.5 today. Okay, now we need to enter our page count. Okay, the page count has to include all of your pages. It needs to include your copyright page, your dedication page, if you have an author page or a list of other like books you've written in the back, that page needs to be included, and any and all blank pages. Like if you just have some filler pages in the front or the back, those also need to be included. Another really important thing to remember when calculating your page count is that your page count may not be the same number once your book has been formatted. For instance, most of us tend to work on either, a Word document, or if you use Mac, there's Pages, and typically it's set at an 8.5 by 11 size. Now, this doesn't really apply to picture books because typically, it's like 1 to 2 sentences per page. This will be more for a storybook or, books for older children. So let's say you wrote a children's storybook and it was 88 pages. But that is with the words stretched out over an 8.5 by 11 inch Word doc, which can hold a lot more words and paragraphs than, let's say, a 6 by 9. So let's say you wanted your book to be published or printed in a 6 by 9 format. Then that number is going to probably increase because it's a smaller size and you have less words per page. So let's say that number, I'm just going to throw a number out there, that number was 164. So what you'll need to do is to go into your Word doc or whatever you're using to write on and format that for 6 by 9 or whatever size you want your book published printed at. So once you format it to, let's say, 6 by 9, you'll see the accurate number of pages. Because if you just put that same number in here, it's not going to fit all of your words, and the spine and everything is going to be inaccurate. So make sure that you go in to whatever you're using and format it. You can also do this if you use Scrivener or any other kind of writing software. You should be able to go in and format it. So go through here and decide what size you want your printed or published book to be. Now, if you're just choosing the basic 8.5 by 11 and you're already writing on that, then you don't have to worry about it or reformat it. It should be the same. But for all of these other sizes, even 8 by 10, it's just a slight difference. But yes, it's going to be a different number of pages. So that's one thing you will definitely need to figure out before you come in here and add your page count. And then once you get that number, your actual accurate page number, then make sure to add in, your copyright, your author page, blank pages, things like that. So it's really important to get all of that accurately calculated before you come in here with a number. Otherwise, everything is going to be off. And you'll have to keep coming back here and recalculating it. I'm going to choose... See, it says page count must be at least 24 pages. So I think for today, I'm going to choose 28. Okay, so we have all of our information filled out. If for some reason you decide to go back and add more pages or you forgot something, you will need to calculate this all over again because it is very important that the page count be accurate or everything else will be off. Okay, so everything looks fine. Let's click on Calculate Dimensions. Don't get scared. Don't get overwhelmed. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do with all of these dimensions? These, full cover, safer, bleed margin. This is all confusing. This is where I just quit and give up, right? I'm going to show you a much easier way. So don't get overwhelmed or scared by any of this. What we are going to do is we're going to come down here right below the button where we clicked for Calculate Dimensions, and we're going to click on Download Template. It is going to download this very confusing looking template for us. It's going to probably be a zip file because it's going to give you a PDF and a PNG, I believe. Let's see. Okay, so here's the zip file. Here is the folder. There are 3 items in there. We're going to click on there. Yes, we have a PDF and a PNG. The one we are going to be using today is the PNG. So this is going to have everything we need. We don't have to worry about all this craziness. There's only 2 numbers we're going to focus on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this PNG. It's going to open up for me. Okay. I'll make sure this is accurate paperback book. Yes. 8.5 by 8.5. Yes. I'm going to skip this area and we want to make sure standard color, 28 pages on white paper. All of this is accurate. Okay, the only number I am needing from this right now is this one here, the overall dimensions. This is the number we're going to enter over on our Canva to create our design. Okay, so this number is 17.313. Let's come over here. And so our width, we're going to enter 17.313. And then let's jump back over. Our height is 8.750. 8.750. Okay, so we have our 2 numbers. Just double check. 17.313 and 8.750. That's right. We are going to click on Create New Design. And here we are. And you might think, well, this looks way too long for a square book. This is not even a square, this is a rectangle. But remember, this is the cover laid out flat. So this is the front and back of your book laid out flat. So that's why it's so long and the dimensions are different. So here's where we're going to be designing the front and back of our book cover. The first thing I want to do is I want to import this template onto our design. The way to do that is we're going to come over here to Uploads on the toolbar on the far left. We're going to click on Uploads. Okay, so when you click on Uploads, it's going to pull up your photo library. These are all of the photos I've ever uploaded here into my Canva library. This one here, just ignore that. That's not the one we need. This is from a previous book cover design. I'm going to show you how we're going to get our new template into this photo library. We're going to come up here to Upload Files. And then you're going to see, everything on your computer. Like typically you're going to find that template in your downloads. And so you can see here it is. It says paperback 8.5 by 8.5. I'm going to click in that folder. And again, we want the PNG. There it is right there, and I'm going to click open. It is going to upload it here into our library. We're waiting for the blue bar to go all the way across. All right, so now it's ready. So we are going to click on our template. And it's going to place it over here in our design area. And again, make sure everything's right. 8.5, 8.5, there's those dimensions. Okay, we are just going to take the corner and stretch it until it meets the corner of the background. And then we're going to come over here to this bottom corner and do the same. Okay, so everything looks great. It matches our background. That's why I told you don't worry about all those dimensions, because we're going to have this template with us as we design, so we can always, double check and make sure we're not, designing outside of any of the printed areas. So I don't want it to interfere with our design. So while we have it clicked, if you've clicked off of it, it'll look like that, and you can just click back on it and you can see it has a purple box around it. While we have it clicked, we're going to come up here to this sort of checkerboard. It says transparency. If you click in there, you're going to get this little toolbar where we can make an adjustment with the transparency. Right now it is at 100. We're going to bring it down to, let's try 50. And as you can see, it's sort of faded, right? We can even bring it down lower till it's completely invisible, see? But I like to kind of keep it, actually going to keep it at 25 right now while we're designing, just to kind of keep it in our background. And so we'll know to make sure we're designing within the printed areas. So it's going to be there while we're designing. We can always go back and check and move it around and just make sure we stay within the printed guidelines. All right, so now that we got all the complicated stuff out of the way, it's time for the fun part. It's time to start designing our children's book cover. Some of you may already have a design for your book cover. You might have hired an illustrator or designed it yourself. Maybe you are an artist. If you have a design already pre-made, again, you could just go to Upload Files. You would find it in your downloads or wherever you have that design and upload it into the library. Now, for those of you that are designing your book cover yourself, I'm going to show you several ways that you can find illustrations for your book. There are several ways that you can do that. The first place is right here in Canva. If you come over to your toolbar and click on Elements, you can see there are, shapes, graphics, photos, stickers, things like that that you can place on your book cover. Now, a question I often get is, can I use graphics in Canva because aren't they like copyrighted? So I thought I'd go ahead and pull up the Canva's content licensing agreement. And if you scroll down to the number 5, it says right here, permitted uses of all content on Canva except pro music. So these are the things that this agreement permits you to do or make with Canva designs that contain content, free or pro. And then again, if you come down to number 6, it says right here, entertainment applications such as books and book covers. And right below that, number 7, it says online or electronic publications, including web pages, blogs, ebooks. So if you're designing with an ebook, you can see that is covered as well. So again, these are things this agreement permits you to do or make with Canva designs that contain content free or pro. So you have permission to use their designs. Of course, you're going to want to customize it and change it up. You don't want to just use everything as is. That's why I always add filters or, just kind of make some slight differences. So, okay, let's go back to our design. Another place you can find images is on Pixabay. This is another free stock footage site. You can read their licensing agreement as well. And nowadays, you also have options with all of these AI websites and software where you can custom design your cover image from scratch. But today, I want to make things super simple for you guys. So we're going to find everything we need right here in Canva. So again, we are on the Elements tab, and my concept for this children's book is a pig that will be our main character. So I'm going to type in pig, and then we have options for graphics or photos. You could use a real photo. This is going to be a children's picture book today, so I want to stick with graphics. So right here in graphics, I'm going to click on See All. And so now you can see we have so many cute, adorable pig illustrations to choose from. Some of them have the crown, which means those are elements with Canva Pro. This is the paid feature, but there are many without, as you can see. If you wanted to filter those out, you can come up here to the filters box and you'll come down to price, click on free, and then if you click off to the side, you can see that all of the images with crowns are gone. They've been filtered out. Everything you see now is available with the free version. I have Canva Pro, so I'm going to go ahead and undo that. Okay, so now all we have to do is kind of search through here for any we like. And you don't have to just stick with one at a time. You can click on several. That way it can kind of give you some idea. That's what I like to do. Kind of get some inspiration for what I want to do. This one's cute. This one looks like Wilbur from Charlotte's Web, doesn't it? So I'm just going to add a couple pigs over here on my book. Okay, so here we are. I've narrowed it down to like 5 right now. All these cute, adorable piglets. I probably would have chosen 20 if I could. It was really hard to choose, but I think I am wanting sort of a stylized book. So I think I'm going to go with this one here, this little kind of happy dancing little pig. So I'm going to delete all of these other adorable piglets, and I'm going to use this one as my main character. Okay, I want to show you something else that Canva does really cool, is that when you select a design, this was the last one I selected, but anytime you select a design, if there are other designs that are similar, as you'll see over here, it says magic recommendations. When I click on see all, look how many more designs there are that are very similar or different versions of this little guy here. So this one is like one arm's up. This one's kind of spotted, speckled. There's different poses, different colors. So anytime you choose a photo, kind of glance over here to see if there's any magic recommendations. So you can see here he's got a little thumbs up, hands on hips. You can fill an entire children's book with the different character poses. And then sometimes if you click on one of these, like this one, you might even get more. See all. Let's click it again. And you can see, yeah, there are different poses. This one, I don't know if he's like rubbing his eye. Okay, guys, I'm thinking I want to select a second one maybe for the back cover. I'm just going to kind of move him out of the way right now. That's one thing I realized I didn't explain. Since this book cover is laid out flat, this side on your right is actually going to be your front cover. So let me make the little guy bigger. This is your front cover. And then everything on the left side is actually going to be your back cover. And you'll know that because, again, you can see your barcode right here. So remember, when you're designing, it's actually reverse. It is front on the right, back on the left. So this is the front cover. Okay, so now we have our little main character. I want to make some changes to him, and you'll always want to do this. I always recommend changing up your character. I mean, whether you add a hat to him or some shoes or something, you can actually, do that. Just go to elements. Let's say you wanted to add a hat to your little character. You can click on hat. You can type in hat, go to graphics, and look, here's a cute little hat. If we wanted to add it to our character, and I know it's going the wrong way, to change that, you can come up here to flip and flip it horizontally, and now it's facing the same way as our character. There's a lot of fun things you can do to your character. If it's a birthday party story, there's a little birthday hat. I always recommend, just customizing the photo for your story and not using it as is. For my story, the way I'm going to customize it is, instead of this pig being pink, in my story, it's going to be a purple pig. If you do plan on changing the colors, make sure you have a graphic that allows that. Some graphics will not allow you to change the colors. And the way you'll know that is if you look up here and there are no color boxes. This one allows you to. Let me see if there's any here that don't allow. Okay, look at this one here. This pirate hat. There are no color boxes, which means I cannot customize the color. I have to use it as is. That would actually be a cute little story, a pirate pig. Look, that's so cute. Okay, that's what we're doing today. That would be a cute design. Okay, let me delete the little pirate hat. Okay, so this pig, you can customize the colors, because look up here, we have 4 color boxes. I'm going to change his color because my story is going to be called The Purple Pig. So I want to change him to the color purple. So let's see, it looks like the lightest pink here is his main skin color. So let's go in there. Once you click on the color box, your toolbox over here is going to change to color palettes. Document colors means the colors that are currently over here on your design. So you can see we have the pinks, there's the black for the outline, and there's this kind of darker red is on this pig here. You can ignore this. This is my branding kit. Down here are default colors. If we wanted to, we can choose like one of these purples. That's kind of a dark purple, not that one as well. It's kind of too a little bit neon for me. But I can go and create my own or choose my own purple by coming up here to the top, and you'll see there is this little rainbow square with the plus sign. It says add a new color. You can click in there, and so right now since I had already chosen purple, it's in the purple shade. Typically it'll be somewhere over here when you first click on it, but let's see, we were in the purples. You use this slider to get to the color you want. You know, it's got the whole rainbow there. I'm going to get to the purple shade. This is more blue purple or pinkish purple. And then you use this slider to select the shade of purple you want. Okay, I think I like that purple right there. So that is going to be his main skin color. We need to change the snout. So that's going to be this sort of pinkish color right there, I believe. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that same purple. As you can see now, it saved it up here. So you can see it changed to match, but I want it slightly darker. So again, I'm going to go add a new color, and I'm just going to move the slider to the right. So you can see it's turning a slightly darker shade of that purple, just to kind of help it stand out more. All right, and now I need to change the nostrils, and here they're like a red. I'm going to click in there, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to choose that light purple again. See, there's a little light purple, matches the skin. All right, and then our outline is right here. It should already be black. Yeah, so if it's all zeros, that means just jet black. You can always come down here and change that. Let's say you wanted to outline them in purple or blue, pink. I'm going to just leave it solid black. So now we have our little purple pig. I'm going to make those changes as well on this guy. So I'm going to click on this character. Again, we have our color boxes. You're going to see how quick and easy I can just match it all without having to use those sliders or anything. Let's start with the skin color. It's this peachy color. I don't have to go and, customize the shade anymore because, again, Canva saves it for you. So here is the skin purple, the lighter purple. Let's go up here to this rust color. That is the snout, and I'm going to choose the dark purple. It already changed it. Let's click on the red for the nostrils, go back to our light purple, and then this should be all zeros. Yep, all jet black. Okay, so you can see how easily we changed the second character to match the first because Canva saves those colors for us, which is fantastic. Okay, so we have our little purple pig, and we have him back here again in the back. I'm going to make him smaller. Just move him out of the way right now. We still have our template on so we can see, our grid lines and everything. Okay, so now I need to choose a background. I'm going to come back over here to Elements. I'm going to click on the X to clear my last search, which was for a hat. I want to find a sky. I'm going to just have him. Okay, so I typed in sky. We have options of photos and graphics. I'm going to click on See All under Graphics. And here we have a bunch of sky backgrounds. If you want to filter out the Pro options, again, you can just go up to the filters and click on Free. I'm going to leave it as is. And like before, I'm going to click on a few just to kind of get some idea of what I like. So I like this one here, kind of cartoony. You'll notice that he is behind it, and I want him in front of it. So what I need to do is to come up here. Well, let's click on the pig. Come up here to Position. And then when you click on Position, you're going to have two tabs here, Arrange or Layers. I'm going to click on Layers, and you can see this, whatever's at top is the top layer. So the sky is on top, which means that the pigs are going to be behind the sky. So all you have to do is drag your pigs up to the top and drag your pigs. Okay, so now you can see the pig is on top. Okay, so if you ever have a problem with something being behind something, you just need to go into Position and Layers. All right, so now let's go back to our elements, and I need to type sky in again. Okay, and click on graphics. Okay, so now we can kind of get some idea what it would look like to have our pig in front of the sky. Let's pick a few more. Okay, I've got 4 options here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just like set the pig in front of each one to kind of see, get an idea of what it'll look like. Oh, again, look, he's behind those. Go to position, and we're already in layers. Just make sure the pigs are at the very top. Okay, so now we can kind of place them in front of each. Okay, there's how he'll look there. That's kind of cute, that one there. Okay, I don't like these, so I'm going to go ahead and click the trash can above them. Okay, I don't like that one either. I'm going to trash that one. Now, I would probably pick this one, but I want to show you guys how to piece several pieces together to create a, foreground and a background. And I really love the swirls on this. It looks like a little pig's tail. So I'm going to go with this one for today. So let's move our pig over here, and I'm going to click on this background and click the little trash can to delete it. So we are going to be using this one today. So I'm going to bring it over here, and you can see that Canva recognizes the center of our design. See how it kind of stops right there, and there's a solid purple line, I believe it's purple. So I'm going to place it up against that center, and then I'm going to stretch it until it reaches the end. And actually, it's okay to overlap it. One thing that people get really confused about is if you read right here, it says like this red area is out of live. So I noticed one thing that a lot of people tend to do when they design is they will stop their design, or they'll only bring it into this red area like that. And then every time you go to try to submit it to Amazon, you get rejected, but you're thinking, well, what did I do wrong? I kept it within the red. No, they actually want you to stretch it all the way to the end. That's called the bleed area, even though it's going to be cut off. So make sure that you stretch your design beyond the red, or at least to the red, and it's okay if it does get stretched slightly beyond that, like this. Okay, so we have our front cover sky, and I want to just duplicate it for the back. You don't have to. You can just make this a solid rectangle. Let me show you how to do that. If you wanted to, you would come over here to elements. You're going to clear the sky. Here you can just see shapes. Click on see all, and you would just pick a square, and you could just do that and have a plain background, and then you would put, maybe some images or your book blurb, something like that. You could do that, but for my picture book, I want actually the sky to go all the way around to the back. So I'm going to delete this square. I just wanted to show you for those of you that don't want to design on the back. Okay, so now let's back to our sky. Before we duplicate it, I want to show you up here. You can adjust the colors if you wanted. Here is the blue. If you wanted to change that, you could come down here and choose one of these colors. Like if you wanted it a darker blue, let me go back to the lighter blue. You can also click on the rainbow box, and here's where it's currently set at. You can slide that if you wanted to change that. I kind of like it a little bit darker. Okay, that really helps the color pop. I kind of like that. See, I've slightly just moved it toward the right. Okay, so now the middle color is this light blue that's in the clouds. You could change that if you wanted to as well. For instance, if you wanted to change it black or purple. And here's where it originally was, this light blue. And then, of course, there's just the white for the clouds. So again, I took one of Canva's elements and I customized it by changing the color. Please try to do that as often as you can. Okay, so now that we have the background, the color we like, now I'm going to duplicate it. All right, so I'm going to show you. When you click on the background, you should get another little toolbar. Sometimes it's at the top, sometimes it's at the bottom. Right now it's at the bottom, and you'll see we have the little trash can to delete it. But to the left of that, you'll see this icon with 2 little rectangles. That means duplicate. So you're going to click on that, and then you'll see you have a second background. It's the exact same size and everything. We are just going to slide that one on over here to the back half. We're going to just butt it up against the other one. When it's centered exactly as the other one, you'll see a solid purple line across the middle. Now, this book does not have a spine because there's a gap I need to adjust, but because according to KDP, all books must be 80 pages or more to have a spine. But if your book is more than 80 pages, you will have a spine. So at that point, you should have a much larger gap right here. See, there's two red lines and then a center white line. This one will be much wider on a regular book. So what you would do is let me just show you. You could put a square there and then you can stretch it out and make the spine, and then of course you will put your title. You make sure your title is going sideways. Okay, this is if you had a book with a spine. This picture book doesn't because it's only 28 pages, and again, your book must have 80 or more pages in order to have a spine. So for these two, I'm just going to butt them up against each other in the center. And I like the front cover to overlap. See, right now, I'm going to click off to the side. You see there's a little white gap there. I'm going to bring the front cover slightly over so it overlaps the back. And let's see if we can line those up a little bit better. And you can see that our little back page pig is missing. What we can do is we can click on the back, go to position, and you see the clouds are over the pigs. Bring them back down. Okay, so there's our little pig guy floating in the clouds. Okay, we don't want our pigs floating in the sky, so we need to add some grass. So again, I'm going to come over to elements. Right now I'm on shapes. I'm going to hit the back arrow and let's just put in grass. I want graphics, so I'm going to click on see all. And here we have a bunch of options. Okay, I kind of like the way this one looks. Let's get rid of this one here. Okay, so I think I'm going to go with this one here. So let's bring it over. And of course we need to bring it down, and then we want to stretch it. So just grab one of the corners and stretch it until where the two backgrounds meet in the center. Okay, so typically you want it to be about a third of the way down. I'm going to stretch it more because I don't want this black line to appear over here on the right. So I would say that's about a third of the way. I do have the options to change the color if I want. Again, you could change it to the lighter green. Okay, I already like the green that it is, so I'm going to leave it as is. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it and bring the other half over here, and I'm going to let them overlap, but again, I want this one to be on top. If you can see, this one is on top, so we need to go to position, and we need to make sure that grass is under this grass. So now we have the front cover overlapping. Okay, so we have our grass, and we also, while we're there in position, we need to bring our pig, both pigs, above the grass. Okay, so I'm going to bring a little pig guy down a little bit. I'm considering adding some of these. I'm just going to put this little bird here for right now. I may or may not use it. I'm just going to set it aside. That's what's so great about Canva. You can add stuff and delete it later. And guys, while I'm right here in the magic recommendation, I'm seeing things I like. Like, I definitely wanted to add a sun right here, and it looks like they already have a sun I might like. I kind of like that one. It's got the bold black outline, very much like our little purple pig. So I'm liking that. We can change it if we wanted to, but I'm kind of liking how it looks just like that. Now I'm going to go in and I want to find some flowers. So I'm going to type in flowers. Again, I'm still in elements. See all. I'm going to go under graphics. I kind of like these here. Okay, there's those. Yes, I can change the colors. Here's some more here. No, and those are watercolor. They're not really cohesive with our theme. You want to make sure that you kind of stay within the same type of illustration. Not those either. Let's see. So I have these two options. You can change color on both of them. I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I like these that have a little bit more variety. I want to change them into all different shades of purple. So let's come up here to these pink ones and we'll just choose the light purple of the skin. Let's change the red ones to this purple of the nose, and then the yellow ones. Let's see, let's just go and choose that purple that they had already. Maybe make this smaller. I kind of want to change the leaves too. This is a very dark forest green. I'm going to click on there. It looks almost black. Now let's change it to more of a brighter or a happier rain. Oh, that one matches the grass, so not that one. Let's see what we got down here. Nope. Okay, I guess we'll go with this one right here. Okay, so now we have our flowers. Now we need to duplicate them. So we're going to click on them, click on duplicate, and we're just going to bring that over to this side. So now we have flowers going all the way across and our 3 shades of purple. And you know what? I think I'm going to change the sun. So let me come up here. Let's type in sun and graphics, see all. Okay, actually, yeah, because the flowers don't have an outline, so I don't want the sun to have an outline either. So I think I like this one. This one's a little bit too simple. Okay, so let's minimize our sun and place it in the corner. I want to add some of these flowers to the back page as well, or the back cover. So again, I'm going to click on them and duplicate them and bring them here. And maybe this other one as well. Remember, we're going to have a barcode here, so I may or may not use both. We'll see. Okay, so now we need to add our title. So to do that, we're going to come over here to our toolbar on the left. We're going to click on the third option, which is text. Now Canva does have some pre-made titles. Some are with the pro version, but there are many that are available for free. So if you wanted to, you could select one of, for instance, this pre-made one here, and you would just type in, your own book title, customize the colors and everything like that. But instead, I'm going to show you how to create one on your own. So I'm going to come up to the top, click on Add a Heading. Here we're going to get a text box across the middle. I'm going to bring it over here to the first page, and this is going to be called the Purple Pig, but I'm going to be using different fonts. So for right now, I want to focus on the main word, which is purple. So I'm going to write purple in all caps. And then please, please, please do not leave your font as Canva Sans. This is so boring for any kind of genre book. This would probably be fine for your interior words, your story, but not for your title. So please don't leave that as Canva Sans. Okay, so to choose a different font, we're going to come up here to where it says Canva Sans. We're going to click on the down arrow. This is going to bring up all of our different font choices. As you scroll down, again, you'll see some with the crown, but there are many choices without it. We're just going to try to find a bold font that we like that really stands out. This is a fun one right here. Now let me show you an easy way that you can try out multiple at the same time, the way we were doing with the different, pigs and things like that. Click duplicate and you're going to get 2. Now when we change the font, we'll come back up here. It's only going to change the second one, for instance. Let's scroll down and let's say we want to try this one. So again, I'm going to click duplicate. Now I have another one. And then now I'm going to choose one for that and duplicate. And this is how you can get a bunch of them. Okay, so here I am with 10 options here. I'm going to move them all over to the back cover, and just so that I can kind of get an idea of what it will look like. Okay, I'm already not liking this one. It doesn't go along with the illustrations here, so I'm going to delete that one. Let's see, this one. That one's kind of nice, but I don't think I want it italicized, so I'm going to delete that. Okay, one thing I don't like about this one I want to show you. If you notice in our design, everything is kind of rounded. Look at the flowers have a soft rounded edge. Even the edges of the sun, they have sort of a rounded edge on them. The pig, he's got rounded feet, rounded hands. Even the grass here, rounded, the clouds rounded. So this with the sharp edges and the flat edges is not cohesive with our theme. That's one thing to think about in graphic design. You want to kind of keep everything cohesive, and everything has soft rounded edges. This just kind of feels out of place. So let's go ahead and delete that one. Okay, I'm kind of liking this one here for our main title. I'm going to hang on to this one because I might want to use that for pig. You can adjust the size by either grabbing a corner and dragging it in and out, or you can come up here to font size, make a selection in the numbers, or click the plus or minus. I prefer to just kind of drag it in and out. Okay, and to center it, we want to click on the background first, and then when we get the solid purple line, then that's how we know it's centered. And definitely we want to change the color. It is just pure black right now. We're going to come up here to text color. If you click in there, you're going to get all your color palettes again. Here's the colors that we already have in our page. So here's this like dark purple that's in the flowers. I don't want to use that. Here's the color that's in the pig skin, and then here's the color that's in the snout. I'm going to use the color that's in the snout. And I also want to add a shadow. To do that, while it's selected, you're going to come up here to Effects. Then we have a variety of choices. There's a lift. It's going to put like sort of a shadow behind the whole thing. There's hollow, splice, outline, which outline's kind of cute too. You can adjust the thickness on that. You can adjust the color. Right now it's like a plum, but here's the other purple. I'm actually going to go to shadow right up here. And it defaults to the exact same color with just a lower transparency. Like right now it's at 40. I want to change the color to match that light purple of the skin, which is right here. And you can see it's almost invisible. So we need to increase the transparency. I'm going to increase it all the way to 100. You can also change the offset, which is how far away it is from the letters. The direction, let's say you wanted it to be, right now it's to the right. You can adjust it so that the shadow is on the left. And then here's blur if you wanted to blur it for any reason. I'm going to leave all of those where they are. So the only adjustment I made is the color and the transparency. All right, so I'm going to click off to the side. Okay, so now I want to write the and pig. I'm probably going to use this same one, but let me go ahead and show you if you were going to start from scratch for your second one. So let me just delete that. Okay, so let's say you needed to add a subheading or just a few more words. We would click on add a subheading. You're going to get another text box. This one's going to be slightly smaller, pig, and I'm going to bring it over here. And then we need to change the font. We remembered what it is, Frankfurter, but let's say you didn't remember. If you look up here at the top, it'll say recently used, and there it is, Frankfurter Normal. That's the one I recently used. Or you can just scroll through and try to find a font you like. I'm just going to stick with that one, and I want to make it bigger. I'm just going to grab the corner and stretch it out. I'm going to keep it probably right under the E in purple. Okay, and then I need to write the. I don't want to add a whole third different font, so I'm just going to duplicate this one. I'm going to click on it, click duplicate, and change this to say the. And then I want this one to come up here, and I want it to be smaller, even smaller than pig. Right about there, maybe bring it up slightly. And actually, I'm going to move this over. Okay, now if I want to move them all together, or group them together, I can click on the, hold down shift, click on purple, and while I'm still holding shift, click on pig. Now all three boxes are inside the one dotted line box. I can group them together, so now they're in one group. You can always ungroup them, but the reason you might want to group them is maybe you might want to make them larger or smaller, and instead of doing it individually, you could do it all at once. You could center them all. See, we have a solid purple line. That means it is centered. Okay, so I'm going to click off to the side. And now let's center our little pig guy. Okay, now I want to add a few more elements. So let's come over here to elements. And I'm going to look for maybe, let's see, butterflies. And let's find some butterflies. Let me go with these right here. Okay, so I'm going to make these smaller. And I want to change them. Let's do the dark purple. If you want to adjust their direction, there's a little circle with two round arrows. You can grab that and kind of tilt them. Okay, let me change the colors on this bird and see how it looks. We want to change the pink to the, let's see how it looks with the light purple. And let's change the outline to the dark purple. Let's reverse that. Okay, no, I'm not liking this bird. So let me delete that. Maybe let's just stick with the butterflies. So I'm going to duplicate these butterflies, put some on this side, but I don't want them going in the same direction. So let me show you how you can flip that. You can just come up here to the word flip, and you have the option to flip it horizontally or vertically. Vertically is going to make it upside down like this. You don't want that. So we want to flip it horizontally, and then I'm going to use this little dial here to have them kind of flying in that direction. Before we continue working on the back, I want to show you how we can make sure that everything's within the guidelines with our template. So what we need to do is click on the background or pretty much any area. Go to position and then make sure you're on the layers tab. See, it usually defaults to arrange. We want to go to the layers tab. So here are all the layers we have now in our design. We are going to scroll all the way down till we see our template, which is usually right here not at the very bottom, but right above the background. We are going to click on that and drag it all the way to the top. Okay, so now we can see our template. We're going to go to the transparency and increase that slightly, maybe to the 40. And here's where we're going to be able to see if anything is outside of those red or those grid lines. So you can see here, some of this purple flower is going to get cut off. That's perfectly fine. The bottoms of these flowers and this little pink one on the edge, those are going to get cut off in printing. That's fine. You can see right here, some of these sun rays at the top and on the right are going to get cut off. We can adjust that. The most important thing is to make sure that your title and your main image or your character is not going to get cut off. So other than the sun, everything looks okay. Here you can see that these flowers are in the barcode area. We will need to adjust that and scoot them over. So other than that, I think just the sun needs to be adjusted. So while that is there, let's go ahead and just find the sun. There it is. And so we found the sun layer, we clicked on it, and now we can actually just shrink it down if we wanted to, or you could reposition it. I just made it smaller. Okay, so now you can see none of the sun rays are going to get cut off. It is well within the cutoff lines. Okay, so also while we're here, let's go ahead and move those flowers over, the ones that are in the barcode. We have a bunch of flowers here, so when you hover over them, it will show you the box. This is the one we actually need to move, this one right here. Click on it, and then you can slide it over so it is clear of that barcode area. Then you can go to this one and slide this one over as well. Let's go ahead and move our template all the way back down. It's not at the very bottom, but it's right above this large white rectangle. Okay, so now we need to add our book blurb. I'm going to move the little guy over here for right now. Okay, so we need to add a book blurb which tells, children or parents what this story is about. So first thing I want to do is add a text box. So I'm going to click on text, and this time I'm going to click on this third option, add a little bit of body text right here, and then I'm going to move it over here to the back cover, and this is where we're going to enter our book blurb. If you have not written a book blurb, you can go and write one or have someone write one, but I'm going to show you another cool tool in Canva that will actually write your book blurb for you. Let me go back. I'm not going to close this, but I have another tab open with Home. Now, this is a feature of Canva Pro, so you will need to have the paid version in order to use this tool, but you can also use any other sort of AI tool, such as like ChatGPT or something like that. In order to access this sort of AI writing tool, you'll need to click on Doc here or Doc. I'm going to click on Doc. It's going to open me another design. This is just for writing, like if it was a Word doc or a Pages on Mac. And you're going to click on the little plus that says Add Magic. The first option here is Magic Write. As you can see here, it has a crown. So this is what I was saying, that you will need Canva Pro in order to access this AI tool. But if you just want to use it for documents or writing itself, then that's free. Okay, so I'm just going to tell it, write a book blurb for the back of a a picture book about a purple pig named PD. At first, PD is embarrassed by his purple skin color, but soon learns about all the beautiful purple things in the world, like flowers and butterflies. Okay, so I've just told it what I want it to do, and then I'm going to click on Generate. And so here Canva, or Magic Write in Canva, has written us this fantastic book blurb. It says, meet Petey, the lovable purple pig who is on a journey of self-discovery. Petey was always embarrassed by his unique purple color, but when he sets out on a colorful adventure, he discovers the true beauty in his hue. Along the way, he meets new friends and uncovers the wonders of the world around him. From the vibrant petals of flowers to the fluttering wings of butterflies, Petey learns to embrace his differences and celebrate what makes him special. This heartwarming and uplifting tale is perfect for children of all ages who may sometimes feel different. Join Petey on his journey of self-love and acceptance and discover the beauty in being yourself. Okay, this is great. So we are just going to copy this. And then we're going to take it over to our book design right here. And we're going to click in this body text, backspace, and paste it. Okay, of course it's way too big, but we are going to make it smaller and move it up to the center. There's your line to let you know when it has been centered. Okay, and then it is center aligned. The actual text is center aligned. To change that right here, see the alignment? We're going to click in there. That is going to line it left. And then we want to have it justified like this. And it's way too long, so we need to click on the side and drag it in. Also, we don't want it one big block of text. That does not look good. We're going to find some points to hit enter right there. Here we go, right here. This heartwarming uplifting tales perfect for children. Maybe right here. Okay, now we need to change the size. It is at 16. Let's try 14. And then definitely we need to change this font from Canva Sans to something pretty basic and simple. Maybe just like an Arial. Here's an Arial right here. Okay, now that we chose Arial, we can actually change the size. Let's go back to 16 and see what that looks like. Okay, 16 is good for Arial. Now, it is hard to read on this background, so what I'm going to do is add a color box behind it. So let's go over here to Elements. Let's clear out our search box. And right here under Shapes, see all, we have a square or a rounded square. Since again, we have all of this rounded imagery here, let's choose the rounded square. I'm going to change it from green to, let's try our dark purple. This is the purple that's in the snout. Let's bring it over here and stretch it out. And now the words are hard to read. Let's click on the words this time. Come up here to text color and change that to white. Let me see if I click on bold. Okay, bold is better. I'm going to stretch out our box slightly. Okay, you see that's looking so much better. And I want to bring our little PD down. I want to group the text and the color box together. So I'm going to click on the text box and then I'm going to hold down Shift and click on the text box and click on group. So now when I want to move it around or stretch it, it'll all stretch or shrink it slightly because I'm just thinking about our red grid lines. I want to make sure we're well within those. Okay, so now we need to adjust our little pig guy here. I want to flip him. See how this one's facing this way? I want to flip this guy. So I'm going to come up here to flip, and this time we're going to flip horizontally. So he's facing this way. And then I want to bring him down so it looks like he's smelling this flower right here. That's kind of cute. All right, now I see his little feet are going to get cut off because remember we have that red grid line. So let's bring him up, and maybe we'll bring our flowers up on the back too. We still have one big blob of text. Let me ungroup that for a second. Okay, actually I needed to space it from. Okay, I think that's better. Again, if you don't have Canva Pro, you can go do the same thing in ChatGPT or any other free AI software and just tell it like I did to write a book blurb for a children's book, and then you will give details about your children's book. Okay, so now we need to go back to the front page because I forgot to write an author name. Okay, I don't want to ungroup this right now, so let's just go over here to text, and I'm going to add a little bit of body text. And now let's think of a fake author name. Let's see. How about instead of Eric Carl, Aaron Charles? It's a fake author name. Okay, so I'm going to bring that down. Let's put it over here for right now, and let's definitely change this font. I want to just choose the same font right here, which is that Frankfurter. But let me show you. You can come up here to Canva Sans. And again, if you can't remember the name, you can scroll all the way to the top and it says Document Fonts. It shows us the fonts that are already in our document. So Arial is what we have right here. Canva Sans is right here. and I clicked on it. When I clicked on Chewy, it changed it to Chewy, so you can see how it looked like that. Or you can click on Frankfurter Normal, and I like the way that one looks. So I'm just going to click on that Frankfurter Normal. Actually, was there a different Frankfurter Normal? Let's go down and see if there were different options of the Frankfurter Medium. Yeah, I think I like Frankfurter Medium just because it's not as bold as the title. Okay, so we have Aaron Charles. Usually on children's books, I see it say by. So let me write, I'm going to write lowercase by. And actually I want it not center aligned. I'm going to come over here and left align it like this. It might be too large. I'm going to make it slightly smaller. There's a large gap between by and Aaron Charles. It's a little bit too big. So I'm going to go up here. You see this spacing? It's 3 lines with an up and down arrow. If you click in there, letter spacing is a space between your letters, like between the H and the A. That's perfectly fine. Line spacing is a space between this row and this row. I'm going to minimize that a little bit. See how it's coming together? Like, look, if it goes farther apart and then closer together. I'm going to bring that down. It was just kind of too far apart. Okay, let me zoom back out. See, that's looking much better. I'm going to bring this closer because remember, we have to think about those cutoff lines. Maybe we'll add a few of these butterflies on this side as well. To do that, I'm just going to click on these butterflies, duplicate them. We need to change the color because they are blending in. Let's go with the light purple this time, and I'm going to make them smaller. Maybe we'll just add a few up here. And then let's duplicate these, change the color to this lighter purple, and maybe we'll bring these down here. All right, now I think the last thing we need to do is to pull up our template again and make sure everything is within line. So I clicked on, you can pretty much click on any element to get to this. And then you click on position, and let's go grab our template and bring it all the way to the top. Okay, again, we can increase the transparency. Let's bring it to about 60 this time, and then click off to the side. Now we're going to see anything and everything that's going to get cut off. All of our title is centered. Our little pig guy is centered, or Petey the pig. The butterflies are fine. Now let's go to the back cover. And let's see, we have nothing in the barcode area. It's okay if that grass is behind it. These butterflies are well within the area. I could actually move them over a little bit. Let's see. Let's go find them. There they are right here. I'm going to click on them and move them over slightly. Just kind of fill in this little gap right here above the barcode. All right, let's go back to our template. Okay, so we have nothing in the barcode area. We have our little pig guy here. His feet are not going to get cut off. If they were, you can just come over here and click on him, and then you can move him around. It's really important to make sure that our text box here is not going to get cut off. We don't have to worry about the spine because we have overlapped the front with the back. This book is too thin to have a spine. It's only 28 pages. Again, you have to have 80 or more pages in order to have an actual spine on your book. You can also check out my regular paperback print book cover tutorial, and I do explain how to create an entire spine for your book with the title. Okay, so if everything looks okay, let me go back on the transparency and let's lower it one more time. I'm lowering it to 0. Just want to double check again. Everything looks good. You're happy with everything. Then I'm going to raise it back up to maybe 25. Okay, and so now this is the point where you will delete it because this is one of the main errors you get back on Amazon KDP. You'll get an error stating that you have not removed your template guide. So the way you delete it is make sure you're clicked on it, and then right here there's 3 little dots. You're going to click in there and you're going to go down to delete. So now we've deleted that layer. It's no longer there. Don't get scared because you can always add it back in. Remember, if you go to your uploads, it's right there. So you can always add it back in. If you need to go back and adjust something, you don't have to worry about going back and doing the calculations and all that again, unless you change the pages, the number of pages. If you have added a couple of pages, then yes, you will need to do the calculations all over again. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Now I'm going to go through the steps to show you how to download this. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to name our project right here. In Canva, it says add a heading, the purple pig book cover design. Oops. And now we are going to click on share, and you're going to come down to download. It's going to default to PNG, but for a print book, you're going to need to select PDF. Canva has PDF standard and PDF print. You'll want PDF print. And then you're going to want to flatten your PDF, because remember, how many layers did we have when you remember when we were scrolling through the layers? There were so many layers. So you want to flatten it. You don't need this crop marks and bleed and anything like that. That's all you need to change there is the PDF print and flatten your PDF. Then we're going to click on download. And now we just have to wait for the bar to reach the other end. It does not take very long at all. If you wanted to share your design with someone, you could come down here and there is a link that says share your designs with others. You can copy it and let's just go on another tab. And let's say you just wanted to share it with someone and say, hey, what do you think? They don't have to join Canva or anything. They'll just paste that link in there and then it will send this to them. It's dark at the bottom only because it has these like little emojis. But let's go back to our design. Okay, so once it's completed, it'll tell you, and you should find it in your recent downloads. Here it is, the purple pig book cover. I'm going to double click on that and we're going to check it out. So of course, everything on the right is going to be the front cover. So all of this from this like a center black line over is your front cover, and look how professional and great that looks. It's just got really simple designs, but it looks really professional. You've got your purple flowers and your title and your author name right here, and everything looks very cohesive from the title to the flowers to the sun to the clouds. And then over here on your left, from this point on to the left, is everything on your back cover, and we've just implemented some of those same little designs like our butterflies and our flowers. We have our little Petey the pig smelling the flowers. And then we have our book blurb right here. What child would not want to read this, and what parent wouldn't want to get this for their kids? The design is very simple, but it's very captivating, eye-catching, and definitely attractive for children. So all you would have to do is when you are on your Amazon KDP and you get to the point where it says upload a cover or access the cover creator, you don't need to access the cover creator because you already have it on your computer. So you would just upload an existing cover. You would just click on that and you would upload this file, whatever you named your file, it'd be a PDF, and it'll go right in there. You should be able to upload it and have no problems. So long as you have followed all the steps in this tutorial. The main thing to remember is just extend your design beyond the red, and this is for the unimportant parts, because I know how it can be very confusing thinking you have to stay within those red guidelines, but no, they want you to extend your design beyond them. Also remember not to block your ISBN code that's going to go here. And then remember all the important features, your character, your title, anything of importance needs to be within the white area. And as long as you remember all of those steps, you should be fine. But if you'd like more tips and tricks for designing a professional looking book cover, then head over to my website, bookcovers-diy.com, and grab your free ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Designing an Eye-Catching Book Cover. Inside, you'll uncover even more secrets and tips that'll take your cover game to the next level. I've included color photos for inspiration, and there's even a fantastic bonus checklist to ensure your masterpiece gets the attention it deserves in the marketplace. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this guide is packed with insights that you won't want to miss. And if you're still not sure that your children's book cover is quite ready for the marketplace, head on over to bookcovers-diy.com and click on Design Services, because I'm now offering book cover design critiques. I will personally analyze and offer valuable tips and feedback to enhance your book cover design. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be updated about future videos. So thanks again for watching, liking, and subscribing. Until next time, bye-bye.